YouTube, it is me again, your favorite Texas trucker. And I am in New York on my way to Niagara Falls. I'm about, working with the GPS, I'm about 35 minutes or so away from my destination. It'll probably end up being more like 40 or 45. With all the stoplights in there in Niagara Falls. There's a toll booth there that can get a little congested. But I thought I'd stop and make a video, not really stop, but I thought I would go ahead and make a video. This doesn't have a lot to do with trucking. Matter of fact, it doesn't have anything to do with trucking. But it's something that's been on my mind. I'm sure everybody in America is aware that they're, had a bunch of riots in Missouri and over there, towards Kansas City in a little town called Ferguson. And the locals in that area tore their whole town apart, and looted stores. News article I read just the other day said that the QT, a pretty nice store there, the QT, they got destroyed. They've decided not to rebuild. They're just going to go ahead and pull their whole investment completely out of that town, I want to talk about that just a little bit. I don't know what happened because I haven't really followed the news story. I've heard little bits and pieces here and there. I've heard that he was this guy Michael Brown was in the middle of robbing a store or had robbed a store, and that apparently, according to other news stories, him and the officer that shot him had gotten into a physical confrontation. They're saying the officer that shot him had a busted up eye and all that kind of stuff. So then the other side is saying that he's just a poor, oppressed black man that wasn't bothering nobody and got shot, and there's stories coming out from both sides of it, and a lot of it's all media-eyed, and I don't know the whole story. I probably will never know the whole story. Honestly, to be completely and totally truthful with you, I don't give a shit. I don't care what the story is. It doesn't matter to me, without a doubt, and I'm not going to argue the point whatsoever, but without a doubt, the abuse of power by the police force is starting to get a little bit out of control. It's not just against blacks. It's not a racial thing. It's more of a I don't know what to call it. More of an oppressive thing. It's not a racial issue. It's the fact that the police force is starting to overstep their boundaries. Period. You've got a lot of news stories out right now that talk about white kids getting beaten by black kids, or white girls getting killed and raped by black gangs, and the media not being willing to report on any of this. The implication is that it's what we call reverse racism, where the idea in America, and it's been the idea in America for years, that the only person that can be racist is a white man or a white woman. You have to be white to be racist. That's the prevailing opinion. For years, the whites that are not racist have been pretty silent on it, but now they're starting to speak out. The thing is, and this is where I'm coming from, or this is, I guess, my thoughts on it, is that racism has been and will continue to be a problem in this country as long as we have multiple races living together. Because people who are different tend not to like people that are different from them. In America, we have a culture, all right, or have had a culture for pretty much the whole time we've been in existence. And each time we've entered a new race or a sub-race into that culture, they have banded together and created a subculture. All right, this happened when the Irish came over to America, and they were oppressed and they were forced to work the railroads, and that was about the only jobs they could get, and they created a subculture, and that subculture still exists today. The Italians came over, and they did their thing, and they created a subculture, and that subculture still exists today. Blacks, once they were released from slavery, they have their own subculture, and their subculture exists up till today. Koreans, Chinese, Indians, it doesn't matter what race, Hispanics, Mexicans, they all have their own subculture, and we have meshed those subcultures together so that we have a kind of an uneasy alliance in America, and yet at the same time there is this underlying racial tension between these different cultures, and these different subcultures, and it can become uncomfortable at times. And nothing is ever going to change that. As long as we have different races in America, it's not going to change. It doesn't matter what I like, what I think, what I want, what Martin Luther King wanted. The thing is that people are still going to have their own ideas. You've got blacks that think that whites are oppressing them. You have whites that think that blacks have too many special interest groups and too much leeway. You have Hispanics that feel like they have to beat the system, and I don't know, man. It's just time and time and time and time and time and time again you find something racist in America, whether it's black on white, white on black, everybody on everybody else. It doesn't really matter. The bottom line is that the media stirs the pot, and you, the people, buy into that shit. At some point, we need to quit being a victim. And I say we, because whites are just as much to blame as blacks. Blacks are just as much to blame as Hispanics. Hispanics are just as much to blame as Italians. Italians are just as much to blame as Irish. At some point in this world, you have to understand that we live in America, and you have to, at some point, take some kind of control over your life and quit being a victim. Quit blaming the next person for your faults. Quit blaming the next person for your stupid-ass decisions, and start taking some control over your life. It doesn't matter whether you're black, white, green, purple, or yellow. You can make it in this life. You can make it in the United States. All you have to do is have the will to succeed. That's all you have to do. The will to succeed, the will to overcome, the will to say, I'm not going to let somebody else put me in a box. All right? So, if you have that will, if you have that desire, you can succeed in this country. All you have to do is push and fight for it. But that's not what we want to do. What we want to do is we want to cry, and we want to say, somebody's keeping me down. Somebody's not letting me get ahead. Because why are they keeping you down? Because you won't fucking try. You drop out of school, you have 15 kids by the time you're 20 years old. You spend all your money on drugs and cigarettes. You waste your whole life around fucking sitting on a couch watching reruns, instead of getting out there and working your ass off and getting a job and getting an education so you can better yourself in this life. You want to be lazy, you're going to be lazy. But here we are in America, and we've got all these problems happening in America. We've got homeless people living out on the streets with no place to go. We have people starving to death in this city itself. We've got, we're giving away billions and billions of dollars of equipment to our goddamn enemies. We're giving Muslims F-16 fighter jets, so that they can come back and bomb us with them. We're training terrorists, Muslim terrorists who hate our guts, and they're going to strap bombs to us and come right back here to our country and blow our shit up. That's more important to me than some thug getting killed in Ferguson. Come on, let's be real. Everybody knows that dude wasn't innocent. Everybody knows that dude wasn't some good, perfect little kid that was just walking down the street and some psycho, deranged cop fucking jumps out and just starts shooting his ass for no reason. Everybody knows that ain't what happened. Everybody knows that there was a reason for that dude to be stopped. Everybody knows that no cop is just going to start pulling out his gun and start shooting somebody for nothing. Everybody knows that. But you buy into this media bullshit, and you let the media hype you up and get you all wired up, and then you got this Al Sharpton jackass and Jesse Jackson coming in wanting to fire your ass up so that you'll start some riot and do what? Tear up the police station? No, you tear up your own goddamn neighborhood. How fucking stupid is that? You tear up your own fucking neighborhood. Dumbass fucking people. That's what I got to say about all of you. Dumbass fucking people. And then the whites want to jump in on top of it and be like, oh, well, some black kid jumped on this white girl and the media didn't report about it. What do you want to do? You want the media to start wiring up a reverse racial shit? Get off the racial shit, period. If the police need to be dealt with because they're getting out of control, then deal with the police. There's a way to deal with them. There's a legal way to deal with them. Deal with the police. Start talking their ass up. Start filming everything they do. Start filing lawsuits against them constantly. Don't sit there and burn your whole fucking neighborhood, tear up your own neighborhood, steal all the shit out of the stores that are providing you with your sustenance. That's retarded. If the police are out of control, then get them back in control. You are the people. You have a vote. Get out there and use your vote and make it count. But get off all the racial shit, because while y'all were over there burning Ferguson, and while everybody was all up in arms about, this white racist cop that killed this thug, and everybody's got all their attention over here tearing up their own neighborhood, well, the government is screwing you. I'm here to tell you again that anytime that there is a big event like that the media focuses on, and the media, fans the flames, there is another reason why they're doing it. The media is not just reporting news. The media is diverting your attention. That's what they're doing. So when that stuff starts happening, instead of focusing on places like Ferguson, don't give that shit the time of day. Start focusing on the things the media is trying to divert your attention away from. Because there's more important things going on in this world right now than some white cop killing some black kid. That's something the courts will work out. If the cop is at blame, then the cop is going to be at blame. If the kid is at blame, then he deserves what he got. If you don't want to be treated like a thug, don't be a thug. I'm sick and tired of seeing this shit fucking crunk up. And then recently a friend of mine posted this picture where it says, if you're more aggravated with some cop killing a black boy in Ferguson than you are with rich white kids or rich whites, ruining your life or whatever it says in Wall Street, then you've been duped. It was something like that. That's a paraphrase. But the thing is that people on Wall Street, they're not all white. That's just another way to try to divert attention around and make it into a racial issue instead of a government issue. The thing is that it's a government issue. There's a government. We have a government that is completely and totally out of control. We have a government that doesn't feel like it has to follow any rules, any regulations, any guidelines, and can do anything that they want to do at any time that they want to do it. And we have a population that's letting them get away with that. And you're more concerned with racial shit. When are we going to grow up, and when are we going to learn finally at some point that America is free? That America is free. You can, for the most part, do whatever you want. No, Muslims can pray in school now, but Christians can't. But hey, we're racist. We all hate black folks. We have so many things. We have the NAACP, that's out there fighting for the rights of colored people. But we don't have an NAAWP. There ain't nobody out there fighting for the rights of white people. We have a Black History Month, but we don't have a White History Month. We have You know, we have a black college fund, but you can't have a white college fund because it's considered racist. You know, and you know, I mean, I could just name on examples after example after example. And you know what? I don't give a shit about any of that shit. I don't care if blacks have, you know, all this stuff out there helping them. I'm all for it. You know, get out there and help them and wake them up and make them get out of these ghettos and make them start getting an education. Make them start doing something for themselves. Make them start climbing out of the hole that they're in, you know. That's what I want them to do, because they have every bit of intelligence, they have every bit of capability, and they have every bit of right to be as rich, to be as well off as any white person ever has been. All they have to do is dig themselves out of the hole and try. And that don't just go for blacks. That goes for whites. That goes for whites living in your trashy ass trailer parks. That goes for Mexicans that are living 20 to a fucking house, you know. If you're illegal, get your ass out of my country. If you're legal, then fucking work your ass off and become as good as you can possibly be. The only thing standing between you and success is you. I'm sick of the race card, period. You know, quit playing the damn race card. Quit getting out there and trying to use the color of your skin as an excuse to be less than what you can be. You know, quit using it as an excuse. Quit using the color of your skin as an excuse to why you can't succeed. The reason you can't succeed is because you don't want to succeed. That's the only reason. Because in America, you have the freedom to do whatever the hell you want to do. All you have to do is work for it. And you can say you don't have any opportunities, but it's all bullshit. America's full of opportunities. All you got to do is reach out and grab it. I'm tired of people playing the race card, and I'm tired of race baiters trying to keep things wired up. And that's race baiters that are trying to keep blacks mad at whites, and race baiters that are trying to keep whites mad at blacks. I'm sick and tired of it. There's no place for racism in this country at all, period. But what we're doing is we're creating an environment in which everybody has to choose a side. And when you create an environment in which everybody has to choose a side, people are going to choose sides. Alright? Let's get off the bullshit and let's start taking control of our lives. And that's what I got to say. Peace out.